2019. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Calling the roll, Mr. Miller,
Here.
Mr. Tuma, Mr.
Here.
Gallagher,
Here.
Mr. Schron, Ms. Conwell, Mr. Jones,
Here.
Ms. Brown, Ms. Stevens, Ms. Simon is absent at the moment, Ms. Baker,
Here.
and Council President Brady.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. Pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, is there any public comment?
Yes, there is, Mr. President. Our first speaker is Jacqueline Kovach.
Thank you.
I don't want to be too loud. I project. Is this okay? Yeah, I'm not too loud, am I? Okay. Well, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Jacqueline Kovach, and I have a story to tell. I was incarcerated for 2 weeks in 2014 and 2 months in 2015 for probation violations on a non-violent misdemeanor. I can tell you that my experience made me want to die. In 2015, while being booked in, I felt like I wanted to die because I knew what I was going to have to go through again. I had mentioned how bad I felt and was discouraged from going to the psych unit. I came to learn that inmates really don't want to go to the psych unit. I heard stories about how you had to sleep on the freezing concrete floor without a blanket and how you weren't allowed anything in a cell. It was apparent to me that correction officers didn't want to send people to the overflowing psych unit either. I had seen women who absolutely needed to go to the psych unit. Sleeping on the floor in a mat in an open pod, it is very hard to sleep for multiple reasons. One of those reasons were having to sleep in the open pod with women who were severely mentally ill and had the potential to become violent at any moment. It took me 7 days to get into a cell with a roommate. The cells were meant to hold one inmate, so that meant I still had to sleep on the floor. The cold floor. And when I say cold, I mean not being able to even hold a book because your hands would freeze. My cell in particular was the coldest in C block. It took a while for the correction officer to notice or care about my roommates and I's cell. My CO tried to get a corporal to come and actually see how cold it was. After a while, the corporal finally came in. He came to check our cell. He had a temperature reader with him. He took the temperature in our cell, and it was 53 degrees. The extreme cold was just one of the horrible things we had to deal with. Worse for some inmates was coming off illegal drugs or their prescribed medications. The answer to this was protocol. What is protocol? It is a very short regimen of pills to help any inmates going through withdrawal. One protocol was for inmates dependent on opiates. Another protocol was for inmates coming off benzodiazepines, like Xanax and Klonopin. It was hardly effective, just barely keeping an inmate alive. In 2014, I was prescribed Klonopin for my anxiety. Any doctor would recommend stepping off a benzodiazepine in a hospital to be closely monitored. Coming off this medication in jail was the worst experience in my 32 years of life. I witnessed both in 2014 and 2015 women fall to the ground in seizures due to coming off medication that they wouldn't be receiving for another 2 weeks if they were fortunate. Many inmates were coming off opiates. They were very much looked down upon by the correction officers, referring to them as junkies. Our very humanity was taken from us in the Cuyahoga County Jail. The correction officers didn't care about us, and it seemed like they didn't care about their jobs. I think they all need more training and a higher pay. Some days, correction officers just didn't show up to work. Due to lack of officers, we were put in what's called red zone. Red zone meant we were locked in our cells from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., only allowed to leave briefly to get medication and then eat dinner around 5 p.m. This means we were locked in confinement for 9 hours a day. This would happen multiple days a week and sometimes an entire week. It has been documented by more than one university that confinement can actually cause a mental disorder in people who did not have one previously. That should tell you what kind of shape inmates are in when they leave this facility. If an inmate had a mental disorder and needed the medication they were prescribed previously or wanted to talk to a psychiatrist, it would take 2 to 3 weeks. The conditions are so bad that many inmates want to commit suicide. The unfortunate people that lost their lives were the ones that succeeded in that action. Many more tried, and many more wanted to. Many inmates that are recovering addicts, like myself, leave so traumatized that they pick back up using drugs again immediately, and this has resulted in many overdose deaths. This needs to change. There must be more social programs for inmates, male and female. I asked almost every day for 2 months that I wanted to attend an AA meeting. There had been an indication on the kite form that there were AA meetings. I'm not even sure if there actually was, because I never got there. Inmates need group therapy for domestic violence, trauma, anger management, and of course, drug addiction. And definitely, more than anything, we need more rehabs. And I'm looking at you too, State of Ohio. Inmates most definitely leave in the worst shape when they come in. A short stay could be effective as a deterrent, but when an inmate waits many months to be sentenced to go to treatment, incarceration in this facility is ineffective and results in high recidivism rates. The institution is broken, and it is going to take more than just changing shower curtains and bringing in more trays to fix it. Many inmates, especially those who have non-violent offenses, should never have to walk through those doors in the first place. Most of them just need rehabilitation, mental health counseling, health care, housing, or other resources. If what we need is healing, why must you send us to a place where we only experience pain?
Thank you. All right. We were liberal with the young lady. I know that people who have not been here before might not understand the rules of the forum here. It's not a town hall meeting. People have the opportunity to speak for 3 minutes. We do not cut you off in mid-sentence, but those are the rules. They've been the rules now for many years, and so I would just ask that everybody got important things to discuss here. We appreciate you coming out. This is, the largest forum of its kind in the county, but we do have rules, and we do have a meeting to run here and a council meeting to take place as well this evening. So thank you for your attention and coming out. Thank you for the latest speaker for your very articulate comments. Madam Clerk.
Angela Davis.
Good evening. I'll be speaking on behalf of the Euclid NAACP this evening. The Euclid NAACP president and its members are asking County Executive Armand Budish to step down and resign, or that County Council take immediate action to have him removed. We will be sending a formal request to County Executive Armand Budish and all members of Cuyahoga County Council, which will cite specific egregious actions that have led us to make this request to protect the honor of the office, County Council members, and most importantly, the citizens and electors. We ask that you consciously and with deep compassion for the state of affairs in Cuyahoga County ponder our request. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Robert Mosier.
Hello, I'm here today. I'm one of the nurses that work in the county jail, and I've been employed there for 17 and a half years. And the reason why I'm coming here before you today is the uncertainty of our jobs. Since the Metro decision has been agreed upon, we're kind of left in limbo at the present time. None of us have been told anything about whether we're going to have a job or not. We met with the HR department, and basically he told us we'll probably have to reapply for our jobs. We've all been, we're county employees. This is a county hospital that's taken us over. And that's my major concern, is whether we're going to have a job or not. I'm kind of up there in years. I've been doing nursing for quite a while, and it's not just for me. There's quite a few of us here that's one of our major concerns. Thank you.
Christina Cashin.
Hello, I'm Christina Cashin, and I'm a registered nurse at the Cuyahoga County Jail, and I've been there 15 years. We're here, my colleagues and us are all here, because we came forward to council to make you aware of our situation in the past and in the present during the turmoil. We've been, nursing staff feels that all the reports that have been out there have been negative standpoint for our medical department. We have been working short-staffed, that is true. The staff was hired and many of them have left. When Mr. Mills came forward, he had security cuts in our medical department. We worked with 6 correctional officers. We went down to 1 correctional officer. There was only 1 person that was able to stay there, and that would put everything else at a standstill. It's true, there was a red zone. There was frequent red zone because of the shortages. They are unable to transport and move anyone without security, therefore causing us to put what we have to do at a standpoint. Not neglecting what we have to do, but just at a standpoint. We had a supervisor, Gary Brock, that attempted to develop us further. And unfortunately, he was let go. During that time, morale was low, but we banded together to help each other. We had no boss. Nurses stepped up for leadership. We were promised a raise at that point and never given one. At that point, all the jails were brought into Cuyahoga County and clothes were kept on the city inmates. When they were kept on, we had an increase in overdoses and sadly 9 deaths. Medical responded urgently to each of the emergencies as any ER, hospital, or ICU would. All these nurses present responded in each of them, if not more of the 9 casualties. We did everything possible to save these precious lives. We care about each inmate and give the best possible care. This person can be your brother, your father, your sister who just made a wrong choice. With Metro attempting to take over, concern for all our jobs, because some people have been there 15 to 30 years. We do have more nurses, but they're agency nurses. We have to train 7 to 10 nurses per day, every night, including doing our duties. These are the nurses that might possibly transition and help Metro to train. Metro will take over, and there's no guarantee for our jobs. In conclusion, I ask for your support and hopefully assist in saving Cuyahoga County nurses' sheriff jobs. Thank you.
Stephen Framartino.
Hello, everyone. My name is Steve Framartino. I'm the International Servicing Representative for the United Auto Workers, assigned to the Registered Nurses Unit at the Justice Center. I'm here today to ask this council to stop the non-union outsourcing of the registered nurses in the medical unit of the Justice Center. Information provided to this union membership is that there is no signed agreement between Metro and Cuyahoga County, and I implore this council and any elected friends of labor to hold Metro accountable in that agreement and demand terms to employ the current RN staff and to recognize the UAW as the bargaining agent. Through union negotiated labor management meetings, these current RNs have brought to light many concerns of the medical department, way before this stuff ever happened. None of those concerns were ever answered by the current administration. The better way was to have policies and procedures that were placed on this staff only to hinder their ability to do their jobs so passionately as they serve everyone in that jail. These RNs need to be respected and valued by the council and not just offered a stay bonus until their jobs are ripped from them. These are troubling times in the Justice Center, but we must not take out the current RNs and have them be responsible or made responsible for what is happening over there. A unionized workforce allows the RNs the power to speak up without fear of repercussions that we have seen happen to other people that have spoken up here, right? So you give them their voice, you hear them, and you allow them to tell you where the problems are at, and that's when this place will succeed. So allowing a non-union entity to come in here, you are therefore outsourcing to a non-union facility where those people will just do exactly what they're told and just cover up whatever they can because they don't have a voice. Thank you very much.
Linda Ruffin and Jacqueline and Destiny Jackson.
Hello, everybody. Okay, I was here before. My name is Jacqueline Jackson. Robert Sharp was my nephew who died March 26, 2015. I had told you before that when I had received his file, that a lot of things were blacked out. So what I did today was I took pictures. I screenshotted the pictures of his files being blacked out. So I would like to show you guys that. And I just can't understand what was the purpose of information being blacked out when it came to Robert Sharp. Because that was somebody that I truly loved, and I think that we deserve answers as his family.
Good afternoon. My name is Linda Ruffin, and I'm Robert Sharp's mother, and I'm standing in the gap for my son. He died in that county jail. All they had to do was take my son to the hospital. Yes, what he did might have not been right, but as nurses, if you seen somebody in need of help and you all couldn't help him, all you had to do was take him in the hospital. A nurse there, instead of taking my son to the hospital, he told them to throw my son in the hole. My son died in cell A3. I see that every day, and all my son had to do was get treatment, and he would still be here. And I'm asking that they change that system down in that county jail. Thank you.
Cecil Fluker.
No need to say my name. So I thought we was playing chess, but we took it to CNN. We took it to the news, took it to the newspaper. I told you some of y'all wasn't gonna be doing y'all job, didn't I? Guess what? It's some officers, your people, contacting me. Guess what they told me? They said, we got paperwork, Cecil Fluker, and some more inmates died, and they covering up some stuff here. I said, what? So, before somebody shoot me or anything, I hurried up and emailed it to a lot of famous people. Something gotta happen fast, because some of y'all might be under investigation soon. I told y'all we was playing chess. You either play right or don't play at all. So you gonna help us or not? You gonna fix it, or you going to jail too? Or some more people gonna die? Or we gonna keep standing outside yelling and screaming and hollering? More people gonna come until y'all get fired, lose your retirement. What y'all wanna do? I got kids too. I just had a good Christmas. How was your Christmas? I bet you theirs ain't good in there. Let's make some changes. Somebody here gonna have to tell on somebody. Somebody gonna have to point some fingers, or you going down with them. They coming for you. They already took the people and put them in Euclid. The marshals, they making separation orders on folks now. Ivy hiding a lot of evidence from y'all. He about to set y'all up. He want to keep his cars and houses. He likes Shaker, but he want to live bigger than that. He told where all y'all live at and everything. There's so much information going on. Fix this situation before it gets nasty. It's about to get nasty. It's about to get political. People from California about to come up here. New York. It's about to happen. What y'all want to do? This ain't even no black and white issue, none of that. What you want to do? It's about the people. I'm a survivor. I'm a victim. What y'all want to do? I'm already dead. I'm about to cause a lot of trouble and a whole bunch of other people too. We watching rooftops and everything. It's that serious. What you want to do?
Joe Jones. Joe Jones.
Good evening. Joe Jones with Fathers' Lives Matter. Reason why I'm here today is because it's been said that the Department of Children and Family Services has been fixed and everything's fine. And I'm here to tell you that it's not the case. Let's go back to 2015. I called 696 kids 10 times. And I told them that I'm concerned about my daughter. Something's not right. Instead of them helping me, they chastised me and they took away my shared parenting plan. Now we have visitation. After that case was over, 2 weeks later, I got a call from Parma Police informing me that the boyfriend that was living with my child's mother not only molested my daughter, he raped a 12-year-old girl and molested another 9-year-old girl outside of the home. Those 10 calls were justified. I was right. Every time I called Department of Children and Family Services, they found every reason they could to unsubstantiate the case. The system is broken with Department of Children and Family Services. Currently, now my child takes razor blades. This happened a week ago, and she cuts her body up with razors because her mom calls her inappropriate names at home. She's tortured at home. She's mentally abused at home. The sergeant of Parma Heights Police took me into the room by myself, and she said, if you call 696 kids, they're going to go and they're going to investigate your claims. They're going to leave. Then your child's going to take another beating for informing you, and you call in 696 kids. What I really want is, I want, on behalf of Fathers' Lives Matter, and we're 500 members strong, is I want Armand Budish to stand down. He needs to quit. He's not fit to be in the position that he's in. I also want a full investigation in the Department of Children and Family Services. I'm counting on you guys to go in there and look at their policies and procedures and to see what's going on over there. The thing is children are dying every single day. Parents go to bed at night kissing their kids at night, and covering them up. I go to bed at night wondering if I'm going to get the Anaya Garrett call that my child's deceased. My child's mother has very serious psychological issues. They keep sweeping everything under the rug. As a matter of fact, my daughter was diagnosed as malnutrition. At the age of 11, she was 49 pounds. Your worker came to my house and said, we are not going to get involved because you've already filed for emergency custody. And I even asked your worker, I said, your job as an emergency worker is to remove a child in immediate danger. My child was just diagnosed as malnutrition. She's in immediate danger. They actually kind of yelled at me because I filed for emergency custody. I did what I was supposed to do as a parent. They deliberately did not get involved. The police wouldn't even get involved. Courts, and when they do these custody cases, they rely on 696 kids to do a full and just, investigation into these things. And if the investigation's off, or they're just blowing it off to, move on to the next one, then a child suffers and dies. So we got to clean this up, folks. Thank you.
Molly Nagan.
Thank you all for having us. Thank you for the opportunity to speak on behalf of the Coalition to Stop the Inhumanity at the Jail. We have been organized here and making our demands clear since December 11th of last year. We have demonstrated at a county council meeting outside the pearly gates of Armand Budish's private Beechwood residence, at the Justice Center and the jail, and at the SCLC Greater Abyssinian Church, where Mr. Budish embarrassingly bought his own award. We have sent out press releases and taken interviews with various major media outlets. In other words, there is no excuse for your lack of response to our demands. On January 8th, we publicly requested a timeline regarding the meeting of our demands. We wanted this by Martin Luther King Jr. Day. That was yesterday. You have missed that deadline. A lack of urgency on your part with respect to the demands that our coalition has made is no longer an option. We are a coalition of a wide breadth of stakeholders, including members of the community that are most impacted by the conditions at the county jail. We know what needs to happen and when and even how. So since you have not prepared a timeline, we are developing one for you. Please contact us as soon as possible to schedule a meeting to review and possibly negotiate our proposal. We look forward to your email by the end of the week. Please also attach a full report on changes that have already been made. County Council, your leadership is overdue. As you know, Cuyahoga County is a Democratic stronghold of this increasingly right-wing state of Ohio. The people who are or have been locked up in that jail and their families voted for each and every one of you. They have been treated not as constituents, but like trash. The coalition will continue to keep the pressure on and is letting those with responsibilities for these atrocities know that we are not going away. We are like the post office. We're going to be here rain, sleet, and snow until we stop the inhumanity at this jail. We are looking at the judicial docket and organizing meetings with judges to refuse to put nonviolent offenders into this slum of a facility. We are organizing your constituency and building support among leaders of the Democratic Party. We are supporting lawsuits, developing cultural and awareness campaigns, planning acts of civil disobedience. We will not rest. We are not done. No justice, no peace. As a reminder, these are the names of the people who have died since June. Larry Johnson, Joseph Arquillo, Gregory Fox, Randall Kane, Alan Roman Gomez, Theodore Carter, Esteban Parpa, and Brendan Kikis. Many more have attempted suicide. Please join us for a moment of silence or prayer as we recognize these victims of this jail. Thank you.
Mike Seals.
I'm Mike Seals with the Committee to Change the Cuyahoga County Charter. Mr. President, you mentioned that the Cuyahoga County Sheriff should be elected by the Cuyahoga County voters. My question to you is, will you put this on the ballot this year?
So this forum doesn't have a question and answer period. I'd be glad to talk to you later about that.
Okay, very good. Okay, I just wanted to, so there's, how do I get an answer for it?
Well, I'll talk to you, but we don't have a question and answer period as part of our council. You can make statements for 3 minutes. I'll be glad to speak to you after the meeting.
Okay. So is there any way that you could get one of your colleagues to answer? Or
Again, sir, this is not a question and answer period, so thank you very much for your time. I'll be speaking with you at the meeting.
okay, thank you.
Sharon Moore. Sharon Moore. Fred Barkley.
Good afternoon, everyone. See, I'm here once again. I was here before. I know some of you here. I am deeply disturbed, and I'm here once again with absolutely no improvement on the last time that I was here. Forgive me for trying to situate my clothes. I'm losing weight, and plus I have a visual impairment, so please bear with me. But my concern is that there has been no change since the last time that we were here. As a matter of fact, things have gotten progressively worse, and it's almost like indicative of the government shutdown. We see this looming crisis coming. We see it's not just the warning signs, but the actual realities of people suffering. We know that there are 1 million plus people who are being affected directly and possibly millions more because of the ripple effects. And now we're seeing this same kind of dynamic here in this county jail, and we're wondering, when are we going to wake up and understand that this is not something that we can just continuously turn a blind eye to? Because one day we're going to wake up and the reality is going to hit us like a ton of bricks. And it can no longer be allowed to do that because we know better, we understand better, and we're supposed to feel better and do better by the very people, for the very people that we have been elected, that you people have been elected to serve and protect. This is not about, your paid positions. This is about your humanity and your morals. I don't know how many of you go to church. I was raised in the church, and no matter what I believe at this point, my moral foundation is set in do unto others as you would have them do unto you. How would you want to be done if you happen to be trading places with any of those people who are in this jail right now? I think that's what you have to ask yourself, because the shoe could be on the other foot. And from what I heard from all these people out here, that reality could be coming. And I know, I don't know how you would live through that. I wouldn't want it to happen, but this is something that must be addressed. This is deadly serious, and all our lives hang in the balance. Thank you.
Tremaine Medley.
Hello. Hello. How are you? I came to strike a chord of village mentality. It is my understanding that we just had an election year in which I probably knocked on 5,000 to 10,000 doors. My name is Tremaine Medley. I am from Cleveland, Ohio. I am a community organizer and a political organizer by trade. I am also a community mental health educator. What I need an understanding is, do we have a village? Do we have a village? We have children dying in the streets. We have young men laying in the snow. We have an epidemic of mental health proportions that are off the charts. And we're locking people up at an alarming rate as if this is cool. I lost my mother when I was 17 years old when I went to John Adams High School, when we had the camel humps. I lost my mother. She was locked up in jail for a felony 4 or 5. I knocked on doors for issue 1. I knocked on doors to raise the minimum wage. I've knocked on doors for healthy families. I don't touch anything I don't believe in. I'm touching this. Understand, village. Understand, village. To whom much is given, much is required. You guys can't sit up there and act as if you're untouchable and you don't understand what's going on in the county jail system. You cannot sit up there and act as if you don't know about the many deaths that are occurring and the food that is being fed to the people. I happened to go to the county jail one time for missing child support payments. Check this. I got my summons to do jury duty at my new house, but they sent my court papers for child support to my old house. Got locked up. Slept on the floor like homegirl. Ate bologna for 4 days. I gave most of my food away. I understand I must yield my time. Please, sir, madam, become a village.
Miss Lou. Miss Lou.
Wow. Good evening, everybody. Today is really a wonderful evening, and we have so many dramas going on. All right, let's talk about yesterday. A day this country should have been really proud. It's a day to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Somebody just mentioned a deadline on that day. All of you missed. Sorry, probably you guys were busy. Now let me tell you what happened to me yesterday. That should have been a day for civil rights, human rights. Let me tell you what I had to do. I went back into that particular place. Guess what? All the problem from about 1 or 2 weeks ago happened in the nightmare form. Ms. Baker asked a question back in November about that building's condition. At that time, I did respond to you later. I said that building should be demolished. County jail actually is in better shape. Let me tell you guys that. That building right now, it's not even 53 degrees Fahrenheit we're talking about, probably 35 or less. That building right now, from long time ago, since they were built as office buildings, the water pressures on the second floor really low. However, finally this weekend we got Cleveland winter coming up. So when I told you back in November, I said finally Eden gave us a good maintenance guy. His name is Gregory. But guess what? He was taken away about the beginning of January, I think. So when the water drops down this much, all the water pipes, they froze up. So there's no water to flush toilets. Okay, so they decided they have to close down all those toilets. This facility housed about 200-something people. including people pregnant. Sleeping in the cold, no bathroom to use. So what happened yesterday to me was, when I went back in there, I found out not only the second floor bathrooms they locked, even the one on first floor they locked. They only left one for 200-something people to use. So you have to understand, for me, county jail is a good place. Now, at this time, I decided to let the staff know I have a physical disability to use the bathrooms, the remaining one, which they ruined in their renovation. Those toilets are so high, I cannot get on it. If I have to use it, it will look like I never got a potty training when I was little. So I had to ask a staff member if they could allow me to use the one in staff lounge, which caused a problem because when I tried to explain that to staff, other people staying at this place, they heard a part of the conversation. So when staff went away, they started attacking me verbally, including racial slur. They think I want to get some privilege. I'm sorry. I was only asking for basic human decency, not to make a mess on the floor to use bathroom. However, I got more than 20 people attacking me, including racial slur. Let me say that again. I don't think Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. expected that. Now, at this moment, I had to go to talk to staff again, ask them, should I go out in the cold to use restroom? Or I should also do what other people do, no matter having mental health issue or not, to use a shower stall for bathroom needs. This is what I got yesterday. Please understand, this is not the only place having this trouble. People being denied for this and that, food, medication, all kinds of basic needs. For Eden, claiming helping homeless people or people less fortunate, they never care about maintenance and repairing. Okay, homeless people, people addicted to drugs, alcohols, people with mental health issues, people in the county jail, we are undesirable people. But how about the poor people working at that place hired by YWCA? They are not any kind of undesirable in this category, right? But why should they get punished? The staff explained that to me. The staff office, that lounge, bathroom also cannot be used because no water to flush. She's very, very pregnant. Her due date is right up. You can imagine. Pregnant people, they have to use restroom more often.
Thank you,
Even
Mrs.
she
Liu.
had no place to do.
Mrs. Liu.
Thank you. Think about that, please.
Thank you all for coming, and we're going to begin our regularly scheduled council meeting at this time, or continue, rather. Could I have a motion to approve the minutes as printed on the agenda? So moved. Second. Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Ayes have it. The minutes have been approved. We have no announcement from the county executive this evening. I will say briefly that the council has been meeting for several hours before this meeting to discuss some of the issues that you have brought before us today. We continue to do that. We continue to work on all of these issues, and we have a great sense of urgency about this, and we will pledge to you that we will stay focused and try to solve these problems as soon as we can with the resources that we have, and we are working very hard to do that. And I know that you can't see us doing that all the time, but it is still the case. And many of the things that you say are things that we've been discussing internally here continuously. So thank you again for coming. Legislation introduced by the county executive. Legislation introduced by the council. Consideration of a resolution of council for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution number 2019-0023, adopting the 2019-2033 Solid Waste Management Plan update for the Cuyahoga County Solid Waste Management District.
This will be referred to Environment and Sustainability. Committee report and consideration of a resolution for council for second reading.
Resolution number 2019-0004, adopting various changes to the Cuyahoga County non-bargaining classification plan.
And this item will move to the February 12th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption. Legislation introduced by the executive, consideration of resolutions for first reading adoption under suspension of rules. Could I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Moved and second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. The rules have been suspended.
Resolution number 2019-0024, amending the 2018-2019 biennial operating budget for 2019 by providing for additional fiscal appropriations for appropriation transfers and for cash transfers.
Move to adopt.
It's been moved and seconded.
Mr. President, my colleagues, this is the regular monthly fiscal agenda of budget amendments. Questions and answers were asked and answered to our satisfaction, with one exception to be noted below. The questions and answers are on your desks. The fiscal agenda contains routine appropriations and closeout of grants and transfers of cash and or appropriations within departments. There are several items particularly worthy of note. The resolution appropriates $3.3 million to complete the installation of the ERP system. Note that the question of when installation expenses and operational expenses begin is still in the process of being resolved to provide proper accounting between capital and operating budget expenditures. The resolution contains several appropriations aggregating to $2,240,000 from Common Pleas Court special revenue funds, consistent with the 2018 to 2019 biennial budget to relieve pressure on the general fund. Excess appropriations are removed from several construction projects. Large but routine transfers are made from the HHS levy to Health and Human Services departments for regular services. I recommend approval on first reading suspension.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2019-0025, approving a collective bargaining agreement between Cuyahoga County and American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, Ohio Council 8, AFL-CIO, Local 3631, representing approximately 90 employees in the classification of Assistant Public Defender for the period January 1, 2019 through December 31, 2021, directing that funds necessary to implement the collective bargaining agreement be budgeted and appropriated.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Discussion. This was discussed in the executive session earlier. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the ayes have it. Resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2019-0026, amending resolution number 2016-0217, dated November 29, 2016, which authorized an economic development fund accelerated growth loan in the amount not to exceed $1,500,000 to Fatheads Brewing for the benefit of a project located at Engle Road in the city of Middleburg Heights, permanent parcel number 171-21004, by extending the resolution sunset.
Move to adopt.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Consideration of resolutions for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution number 2019-0027, confirming the county executive's appointment or reappointment of various individuals to serve on the Cuyahoga County Corrections Planning Board for the term January 1, 2019 through December 31, 2021. Additionally, Councilmember Conwell has requested to be a primary sponsor on this legislation.
Right, and this will refer to HR.
Resolution number 2019-0028, confirming the county executive's appointment or reappointment of various individuals to serve on the Cuyahoga County Tax Incentive Review Council for the term January 1, 2019 through December 31, 2022.
And this will be referred to appointments.
Resolution number 2019-0029, confirming the county executive's appointment of various individuals to serve on the Cuyahoga County Division of Children and Family Services Advisory Board for the term March 1, 2019 through February 28, 2023. Additionally, Councilmember Conwell is requested to be a primary sponsor to this legislation.
And this will be referred to appointments as well.
Resolution number 2019-0030, making an award on requisition number 42083 to Advanced Server Management Group Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $1,121,800 for print management operations for the period January 1, 2019 through December 31, 2021.
This will be referred to Public Works.
Resolution number 2019-0031, making an award on requisition number 42355 to Joshen Paper and Packaging Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $705,000 for janitorial cleaning supplies for the period March 1, 2019 through February 28, 2022.
This will be referred to Public Works.
Resolution number 2019-0032. Mr. President, as I read this particular item, I will be correcting the time period as part of the record for this one, as it changed just prior to the publication of the agenda. This resolution will be authorizing a contract with RPF Properties in the amount not to exceed $570,116.92 for lease of office space and parking spaces for the Meadowbrook Market Square Plaza Auto Title Bureau, located at 22121 Rockside Road, Bedford, for the period February 1, 2019 through April 30, 2024.
And this will be referred to Public Works.
Resolution number 2019-0033, authorizing a purchase and sale agreement with McGregor Pace in the amount of $2,500,000 for property located at 14800 Private Drive, East Cleveland, permanent parcel numbers 673-26018, 673-27006, 673-27049, and 676-27050. Resolution number 2019-0034, authorizing the appropriation of real property for reconstruction and widening of Sprague Road, Phase 1, from Webster Road to West 130th Street in the cities of Middleburg Heights and Strongsville, directing the county executive through the Department of Public Works to proceed with the acquisition of real property required for public highway purposes, authorizing the fiscal officer to issue the monetary warrants to be deposited with the probate court of Cuyahoga County in an amount that is equal to the fair market value of the property.
And this will also be referred to Public Works.
Resolution number 2019-0035, authorizing a revenue-generating agreement with City of East Cleveland in the amount not to exceed $818,000 for Cuyahoga Emergency Communications System Emergency Dispatch Services for the period June 1, 2019 through May 31, 2022.
Referred to Public Safety.
Resolution number 2019-0036, authorizing a contract with Federal Express Corporation in the amount not to exceed $3,500,000 for mailing services for the period August 1, 2018 through July 31, 2023.
And this will be referred to Public Safety.
Resolution number 2019-0037, authorizing a contract with Child Care Resource Center of Cuyahoga County, doing business as Starting Point, in the amount not to exceed $1,974,636 for management, administration, and implementation of various supportive services for the Universal Pre-Kindergarten Program for the period January 1, 2019 through December 31, 2019. Additionally, Councilmember Conwell has requested to be a primary sponsor to this legislation.
Education. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for
Mr. President?
Yes, Councilman.
May I also have my name added to this resolution?
Please add Councilman Miller's name to the resolution. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading.
Resolution number 2018-0266, designating eligible institutions as public depositories of active and interim funds of Cuyahoga County, authorizing various bank depository agreements for deposits of said public funds, each in the deposit limit amount not to exceed $200 million for the period November 1, 2018 through August 23, 2021, in accordance with the Uniform Depository Act of Ohio, with the three banks as listed on the agenda.
To the February 12th Council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution number 2019-0012, confirming the county executive's reappointment of various individuals to serve on the Cuyahoga County Corrections Planning Board for an unexpired term ending January 1, 2022, is printed on the agenda.
Move to the February 12th Council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution number 2019-0013, confirming the county executive's reappointment of Keith J. Libman to serve on the Cuyahoga County Audit Committee for an unexpired term ending December 31st, 2022.
Move to the February Council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution number 2019-0017, declaring that public convenience and welfare requires resurfacing Ridge Road from Memphis Avenue to Denison Avenue in the cities of Brooklyn and Cleveland. Total estimated project cost $2,121,800. Finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's costs of said improvement. Additionally, Councilmember Conwell has requested to be a co-sponsor of this item.
This will also move to the February 12th Council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution number 2019-0018, declaring that public convenience and welfare requires resurfacing Brainerd Road from Cedar Road to Wilson Mills Road in the cities of Highland Heights and Lyndhurst. Total estimated project cost $3,708,286. Finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's costs of said improvement.
And this item will also move to the February 12th, 2019 Council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading adoption under suspension of the rules. Could I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2018-0265, authorizing a revenue-generating utility agreement with City of Cleveland Heights in the amount not to exceed $600,000 for maintenance and repair of storm sewers and sanitary sewers located in County Sewer District number 17 for the period January 1, 2019 through December 31, 2019.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, Mike Chambers came before the Public Works Committee on Wednesday, January 16, 2019. This particular resolution used to be under the Board of Control. However, because of the increase in funding, it now has to go before the full council. This is simply a continuation of a previous agreement for the city for increased work for sanitary and storm sewer maintenance. And this is a direct bill community. And I would ask that my colleagues support this moving forward under second reading suspension of the rules.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2019-0009, confirming the county executive's appointment of Carlin N. Culbertson to serve on the Child Abuse and Child Neglect Regional Prevention Council of the Ohio Children's Trust Fund, representing the Great Lakes region for an unexpired term ending May 25th, 2020.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Councilwoman.
Thank you, Council President. This item was heard in the Human Resources Appointment and Equities Committee on January 15, 2019, and it was the committee's unanimous decision to recommend this for passage, so I respectfully request that.
Mr. President,
Yes, Councilman.
I would request to have my name added as a co-sponsor on this item, please.
Councilman's name is the co-sponsor on this item, Madam Clerk. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2019-0010, confirming the county executive's appointment of John M. Hairston Jr. to serve on the Metro Health System Board of Trustees for an unexpired term ending March 5th, 2024.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Thank you, Council President. Before we carry the motion, I'd also like to make a request to substitute the date from 3/5/2024 to 2/28/2021. As it was brought to our attention, there was a little bit of confusion around the date, and so we're going to, under the advisement of Metro Health, return it back to the original date of 2/28/21, if this body agrees to second and
Any
adopt
questions?
Second.
Mr. Miller is seconding the motion to accept the proposed substitute. Any discussion on the proposed substitute? All those in favor of accepting the proposed substitute say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Any further discussion? All those in favor of adopting the resolution on its merits as substituted say aye.
Aye.
The resolution is adopted on its merits as substituted.
Resolution number 2019-0011, confirming the county executive's appointment of Pamela K. Jankowski to serve on the City of Cleveland, Cuyahoga County Workforce Development Board for an unexpired term ending June 30, 2021.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Council President, this item was also heard in the same Human Resources Appointment and Equity Committee meeting held on January 15th, and it was the unanimous decision of the committee to move it forward to council on the second reading suspension so that they could meet for their be timely for their next meeting.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2019-0014, approving a right-of-way exhibit for Adele Lane Culvert number 00.04 between Crestwood Drive and Fitch Road in Olmsted Township, authorizing the county executive through the Department of Public Works to acquire said necessary rights-of-way, finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's costs of said improvement.
Second.
Mr. President, this particular resolution, Ms. Nicole English came before Public Works on January 16, 2019. This is essentially asking the county, permitting the county to obtain a sliver of property to construct a culvert in Olmsted Township, which is under the purview of the county, and they'd like to get moving on that project. And we got to ask for my colleague's support on second reading suspension of the rules on this. Thank you.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2019-0015, approving a right-of-way exhibit for Westwood Lane Culvert number 00.08 between Crestwood Drive and Fitch Road in Olmsted Township, authorizing the county executive through the Department of Public Works to acquire said necessary rights-of-way, finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's costs of said improvement.
Motion to adopt. And Mr. President, this resolution here is similar to the prior resolution. It's allowing the county to obtain a right-of-way of a portion of property in Olmsted Township, again for a culvert in a different section of town. And this was presented by Ms. English before the same committee. And I would ask my colleagues to support this under second reading suspension of the rules.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2019-0016, declaring that public convenience and welfare requires resurfacing West 130th Street from Bagley Road to Snow Road in the cities of Brook Park, Middleburg Heights, Parma, and Parma Heights. Total estimated project cost $7,274,000, finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's costs of said improvement.
And Mr. President, this particular resolution is a federal aid project. NOACA identified the issues here. It's going to be paid for 80% federal, 10% county road from the Road and Bridge Fund, and 10% the remaining cost to the cities. This project is for maintaining the system for fair to poor roads, and it's set to start in late spring of 2019. I'd also like to add my name to this project as well, this legislation. And with that, I'll make a motion for second reading suspension under this.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted with Mr. Tuma's name on the legislation.
Resolution number 2019-0019, making an award on requisition number 42514 to Tech Communications Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $590,330.26 for wide area network SmartNet maintenance services for the period January 1, 2019 through December 31, 2021.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, my colleagues, this item is a 3-year contract for $590,000 with Tech Communications for maintenance of our wide area network infrastructure. The next item on the agenda is a 5-year contract also with Tech Communications for $1,814,000 for network professional services. Tech Communications is a local female-owned business that we've had excellent experience with in the past. Both items were unanimously recommended by Finance and Budget, and I recommend both items for approval on second reading suspension.
On item 0019, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2019-0020, making an award on requisition number 42515 to Tech Communications Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $1,813,920 for network professional services for the period January 1, 2019 through December 31, 2023.
Move to adopt.
Second. Having been already discussed by the councilman, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2019-0021, making awards on requisition number 42713 to various providers in the total amount not to exceed $3,600,000 for traditional residential treatment services for the period February 1, 2019 through January 31, 2021.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, through the juvenile court requests the extension of this contract. It's probably been here since we've been elected and further back. It was heard in committee, and the committee unanimously recommends suspension and adoption.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. Resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2019-0022, authorizing an amendment to a master contract with various providers for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP to Skills Program, for the period August 6, 2018 through September 30, 2018, to extend the time period to September 30, 2019, and for additional funds in the total amount not to exceed $1,771,626.06. Additionally, Councilmember Conwell is requested to be a co-sponsor to this legislation.
Second.
This is a resolution that will request a federal reimbursement to the county and to the listed organizations in the resolution for participants in programs that receive SNAP benefits. For the bidding, a survey was released instead to participants, not an RFP, because we're not paying, we're actually asking to be reimbursed. And I believe it's a 50-50 split. And I ask that my colleagues pass.
All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Mr. President?
Yes, Councilman.
I would like my name added if I could, please. Thank you.
Got that, Madam Clerk? Thank you very much. Miscellaneous committee reports, starting down here at the right.
Not today.
Mr. President, my colleagues, the Finance and Budgeting Committee will meet at our regular time next Monday, January 28th at 1 p.m. for the quarterly ERP review from the administration. Committee of the Whole work session, we'll hear from Zig Bersons, our consultant on the ERP installation, on Thursday, January 31st at 10 o'clock a.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Our Public Works Committee will meet at 10 a.m. on Wednesday, January 30th. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, safety, I'll be unavailable. I'm going to talk to the Vice Chair, Mrs. Baker, regarding next Tuesday, so stay tuned.
Okay, thank you.
Nothing.
Okay.
Community development will be scheduled for January 28th at 10 a.m. to continue the legislation, the housing legislation.
Human Resources Appointment and Equity will meet January 29th at 10 o'clock. Its regularly scheduled time for items referred from today's meeting.
Education, Environment, Sustainability, regular time Wednesday, January 30th at 3 to hear the two items referred tonight.
Very good. Any other miscellaneous business? Members of the council? All right. Well, I just want to thank the council for its engagement today. We are living in difficult times, but I believe together we are up to the task. So thank you. Adjournment. Committee is adjourned.